Well, Pacelli and Boomer, they're grizzled and gray, talking about Star Wars from back in the day. Got a talk show called Geeky Geezers, it's true, spinning old tales about the stuff that went through. From Atari to Shrek, they know every line. Geeky Geezers, man, they're feeling just fine. Late Savvy's got a lightsaber, swings it with pride. Boomer's got a game but plays it deep in the night. They're ranting about He-Man and old X-Men too. On Geeky Geezers, they're the nerdiest crew, talking Transformers toys that twist and they turn, singing blues for the geek life, their hearts still burn. Oh, Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream, talking comics and movies, they're busting the scenes. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky Geezers with hearts made of gold. They're sitting in the studio, mics turned up loud, reminiscing about Super Friends, feeling so proud. Pacelli loves Spider-Man, Boomer's for Hulk. They argue about Star Trek with passionate both. From Betamax tapes to their old D20s, Geeky Geezers where the nostalgia flows. They got fans in the chat, from the young to the old, tuning in to hear stories that never get cold. Talking Ghostbusters, Proton Packs, toys in the box, and Saturday mornings with cartoons that rock. Pacelli and Boomer, they're keeping it real. Geeky Geezers with that old school feel. Oh, Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream, talking comics and movies, they're busting the scenes. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky Geezers with hearts made of gold. They're singing the blues for the games that they play, for the VHS tapes and the arcades that pray. But the spirits are young, though their hair's turning white. Geeky Geezers keep the Nerdfall alight, so tune in each week to the Geeky Geezers show, where Pacelli and Boomer let the good times flow. From X-Files to X-Men, they're dropping the news, singing praises of geek life with them old blues. Pacelli and Boomer, forever they'll be Geeky Geezers living wild and free.
Hello everyone, welcome to Geeky Geezers. I'm your host, Aged Boomer. This is my co-host, Pacelli.
Hello, hello.
This is my other co-host, Netter of Netter's Network, also known as the Geezette.
Good evening.
Yep.
Oh, that was a good stream. Okay.
I was just gonna say you really are a geeky geezer. You're like worn out before we even get.
It's because we did another stream today.
Well, that's true. That's true. You're not used to this. Keep in mind, I still have another stream after this one. So.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that. Hey, have a great show, Geezer friends. We always have a great show, Big Al. But thank you for the well wishing. Lynn Green, welcome. 4 likes. First one on all but Troy. Looks like you said Tony there for a second there. Geek Flag with Nate Knows. Something about... here we go.
Shimmy left, shimmy right, Farty Fock is dancing tonight. Hearts go popping out his bum. Wiggle, wiggle, here they come. Come. Cute as can be with a fluffy tail sway, spreading love in the silliest way. Farty Fox, you're the best. Boop, 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 you're simply the cutest mess.
Well, thank you for that. Is that the first time on this stream? I'm not sure.
It is the first time on Geeky Geezers. Yes.
Geek Flag, welcome. Like, share, and support. We're going to support Super Chat of $5. Why not get the membership? Make
sure for sure that you are subscribed to Aged Boomer. We need to get him to 500 subscribers. Come on, please. If you aren't already subscribed, if you are on my channel or you are on Netter's, feel free to just go on over to Aged Boomer's channel and hit that subscribe button. You can watch it over there. That's fine.
Yeah, just subscribe.
Yeah.
Ruby Hoove has did something very nice.
Ruby.
Ruby Hoove, you're a gem shining through. Every kindness, every gift makes the whole world sparkle new. Ruby Hoove, thank you.
You are so so
Cap-
so sweet. You truly are a gem.
Captain Phantom Nerd received a gift membership. Excellent.
There you go. There you go.
And Ruby gifted another last call membership.
Well, let's give her due.
Ruby who, you're a gem shining through. Every kindness, every gift makes the whole world sparkle new. Ruby who, thank you.
And welcome back to membership, Lord Thoth. Or is that Taught? It depends on whether you're saying it with, oh, I see the icon. So we're going to go with Thoth, the Egyptian god. There you go.
Welcome, Enigma Severus. Let's see who else is here. Netter's Network, thank you. Got a hi, sweetie.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Let me see. Become member for 7 cents a day. Yes, you become member for 7 cents a day. Let's see here.
We don't know how much Aged Boomer's eventual memberships will be because we haven't gotten him there yet. We've got to get him some subscribers. Come on, guys, help us out.
No. They'll be $100 a piece because I have to afford a new Xbox. I'm sorry. Wait, no.
Oh, we'll get to that in a little bit. Yes, good point.
Console gaming is over. I'm sorry, I didn't say it out loud. Zootopia, welcome.
You've been thinking it for a long time.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. That's the thing. This is all
That's the
recent.
problem. You haven't been listening to me. You haven't been listening to me. I've been
want
telling
a stinking
you. I've been
PC
warning
game.
you.
It's not happening.
Hashtag Troy was right again.
No, please. Here we go. Ship a dog shaking his body left to right.
Seriously, dude.
Shimmy left, shimmy right, Farty Fock is dancing tonight. Hearts go popping out his bum, wiggle, wiggle, here they come. Come. Cute as can be with a fluffy tail sway, spreading love in the silliest way. Farty Fox, you're the best. Boop, 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 you're simply the cutest mess.
I mean, you guys through the Farty Foxes are literally paying for my gas for my trip to my mom's place. So there you go.
You're a boomer. Your boomer is
The
showing.
boomer is showing.
That's why I am what I am. Anyway, by the way, I don't know. You're going out to the middle of nowhere. That's how a lot of horror movies start, dude. I'm just saying.
Dude, we were just watching a stream and they were talking about picking up one of those mobile. What is it? The
Hotspot?
Starlink, the Starlink
Okay.
mobile units. And I'm like, yeah, but you would need to have a subscription, a monthly service to that. And I'm like, I can't. I'm not a big enough channel to justify that. If I was a big enough channel and I could justify, extra, I don't know, $100 a month for a subscription, then I'd say, yeah, I'll do that so that no matter what's happening, I could stream from everywhere. But until that day, we're just going to have to keep pre-recording videos.
Sashi, welcome, our man from the future.
Welcome, welcome. It's been a minute.
Jessica Hardo, welcome. Hey, guys. Hey, Troy Netter. There you go. Hope everybody has a happy Sunday. Well, there has to be some good news in tonight's stream, I think, somewhere in there, buried in there. Something I'm hopeful about, I'll say this, but I don't want to jump the gun because many people were hopeful about Supergirl. And
a lot of people tried to jump the gun, but the gun has absolutely failed us once again.
Did you see poor Snarky J's short
Yes,
video?
I did.
Yeah.
Let me say, okay, I understand that it is kind of sticker shock to see her as a blonde, but she is in no way ugly. She is just way too self-deprecating. When she wears a wig, she rocks the wig. She knows how to wear those wigs. But honestly, I'm sitting there going, girl, don't pick on yourself too much because you're looking better than Millie Alcock. There's just no question about it.
Did I like her? I think she was Huntress at one convention. I thought she really pulled off that costume well.
She did. She does actually do a great Huntress. But honestly, I think her primo costume, and I think she would say this too, is Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Honestly, for F's sake, Warner Brothers, you should just hire this girl to play Wonder Woman. She would be your Wonder Woman.
I forgot what channel I was watching, but some guy was going. He was going, well, they had to do another movie after Superman, and well, we can't do Batman or Wonder Woman, so we'll just go with Supergirl. And then I was thinking, why couldn't they have done a Wonder Woman movie?
It's the same thing I've been complaining about for years with Warner Brothers. They look where Disney and Marvel Studios has to deal with rights because they were all sold away to other companies, and they don't have the rights to this character and they don't have the rights to that company. For whatever reason, Warner Brothers has divided it up themselves within their own divisions. You can't use Batman because so-and-so's using Batman on this platform, and the TV is using these characters for Superman, so you can't use them here. I call it the peas and the carrots thing, where they don't want to let their peas and carrots touch on their plate, and they're making these problems for themselves. Stop it. Just tell these people, look, if you want to work for us, this is what you need to do. You need to work with these other directors. We have a shared universe, and if you don't like it, go make your own damn thing with your own damn characters.
So
Let me take a breath now.
let's bring up the presentation.
Yeah, where is that? There we go.
There we go. Look at this.
Did I not put the presentation in there? Where is it?
Where is it?
I thought
Where'd
I
it go?
uploaded it.
Where'd it go?
Hold on.
Oh,
hold
no.
on. You're going to have to cover it, Boomer, because I got to leave the stream in order to do it. I'll be back.
No, it's the third one down from the top. If you scroll all
Where
the
do
way
you
up to
see
the
it?
top, you see intro, greeting, and then presentation.
I'm on that page. The presentation isn't in the one that says.
Okay, I'll cover
I'll be
things.
back.
You go.
I'll be back.
Yeah, yes. We'll hang out with the chat. How y'all doing? Have you been saving up for your Xbox Series X chat? Huh? Because they've gone up they've gone up in price a little bit. They shot themselves in the foot with brand diversification, did they? Now.
Are you considering getting a new Xbox, really?
No, I'm just asking if the
okay.
chat is. Yeah, I was considering a while ago till I realized the memory seemed proprietary and I can't load things off an external on there. Where you can store things on an external, you can't play the games on the external. But now apparently external hard drives have now skyrocketed in cost anyway. So if they fix that,
Oh, yeah. Anything computer related is super expensive.
well, this is where we are. Apparently, Mac has done some things. Is Troy here? I can add him if I need to. Hold on. Do I gotta add him? Nope. Okay, I guess he's there. Aged Boomer, I haven't gotten a PS5. Oh, you didn't? I thought you were planning on getting one of those, but that's okay, Jesse. But let's see. Doesn't matter if they increase the Xbox of the Xbox. Never got one over here. I don't know, man. Like I said, we play on a Wii and an original Xbox when we have a console. Well, that's interesting. The Wii is the one with the Wiimote where you can bowl and do other fun things, huh? Yeah, very neat. So let's see here. The Critical Dre one, welcome. So you planning on stopping anywhere on your trip, Netter?
We're going straight shot from Illinois to Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's like, when I get there, get the weekend over with, come back home. I said, I love my mother-in-law. I really do. But Ohio is so boring.
I have family out in Ohio.
It's like, well, they just don't do anything. It's like we went out to visit longest running superhero, and we had a great time visiting with them. They renewed their vows, and it was a fantastic day. You go by my mother-in-law or uncle's house, and we just sit there, and they talk about people I don't know. And my mother-in-law will just turn on the TV and start watching some program. And it's like, okay, so this is what we're doing now.
You know what you should put on the TV if you're there? You should put on William Shatner's The Unexplained. That's a fun one. Oh, look at all
I
this.
don't know if she gets that in where she's at. She just turns on whatever it is that she wants to watch, and we just go along with it.
Okay, cool.
And it's like, okay, so we're just gonna sit here and watch TV, which I could do at home.
Yes. All right. You hear Troy?
He's not here yet.
Okay. I see his little thing in the corner. Just wasn't sure. There we go.
Go
Okay,
ahead
there
and
he
get
is.
started.
He said to go ahead and get
All
started.
right. So we're here to talk about the good old days today, as we always do. And because we have a news item later that's related to this, I figured it's a good time to talk about Batman Knightfall. Are you aware of this, Netter?
Knightfall? No.
Knightfall. Are you aware of the death of Superman?
I
Comic
I
series?
know that one.
Yeah, this was a big thing that went on in Batman comics at the time. This was a huge event. I don't know if it was occurring concurrently with the death of Superman or if it happened after. I want to say after, but
Did this happen after No Man's Land?
oh, I think this was No Man's Land where they had the earthquake.
Yes.
I think that came later, but I'm not positive. Okay.
Okay.
That's another one I probably need to become familiar with. But I remember I was in high school when this was happening.
Okay, this is a little bit of an aside, but if you are interested in Batman No Man's Land, which was an ongoing miniseries within the Batman titles, they actually made a novelization of it. Definitely worth your time. It's a much better way to read it, in my personal opinion.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is the paralyzing of Batman, right?
Yeah, this was way after the death of Superman. I want to say it's, yeah, that's one way of saying. I think the defeat of Batman.
Yeah, it was kind of homaged in the Dark Knight Returns or whatever
Right,
it was.
Dark Knight Rises by Nolan.
Dark Knight
yes.
Rises. Yeah. That's it.
Closest we've come to this, yes. This, of course, was there was a prelude to this comic series. So this is from Legends of the Dark Knight comic series, which was kind of its own. These are supposed to be self-contained stories. This particular comic book. I read this one. This was the origin of the drug Venom. Remember?
Right. Which, not to confuse you Marvel fans, this is the drug that Bane uses to get all jacked.
Originally, it was Batman that was using it in this original comic because he felt bad because he was trying to rescue a little girl during this big event and he wasn't strong enough to lift a boulder out of the way and she drowned and it messed with him. And so the scientist offered him a solution, or kind of on the DL. This is this drug, this it's basically a steroid that will make you much stronger, right? And
Yeah.
he's tempted and he uses it, and it starts to mess with him a bit. It messes with his personality. Look at that face he's putting on there.
Oh yeah, he totally has roid rage. No doubt about it.
He's getting rougher with the criminals. He almost attacks or kills Commissioner Gordon. And that's when he goes to Alfred and says, you are to lock me in the Batcave for I forget how long. You're going to seal it, and you do not let me out no matter how much I plead to get out of here. I have food here. I'm just going to stay here till I wean myself off this. That's how bad this drug was.
Dang.
And, of course, I read this also. This is Vengeance of Bane. This was the Bane origin comic, I believe. And this shows Bane's origin. Now, you know how like many Batman villains have a bad day, right?
Yeah. He had a
Bane-
bad life.
Yeah, bad. Yeah, his day was the day he was born.
Yeah.
Some undisclosed South American, Latin American country. They didn't say what it was in the comic. Frankly, it's an island nation. I kept thinking Cuba, where he had to pay for the crimes of his father by the dictatorial regime. So it's like, okay, the father died too soon, so we're going to punish the son, right? So
Right.
he's basically born in a prison and has to survive in a prison since he's a baby. All right?
Yeah.
This rough prison, and he is a highly intelligent villain, a very strong villain, and then they do experiments on him in the prison with the venom, and then he becomes Bane. He's also one of his partners in the cell is actually a criminal from Gotham City called Bird. He's like a Gotham syndicate member, one of the mob organizations there, and he teaches Bane all about Gotham City and the Batman, and Bane decides I'm going to set my sights on Gotham City, take it over, and destroy the Batman. That's
Yeah.
his main plot. Remember?
With
Yes.
with the whole idea of Batman having different villains that represent mirror images of different aspects of him, right? So you have arguably you have the Joker, who has the, it's argued that Batman has a certain kind of insanity that drives him, but it is one that is beneficial, that is harnessed in a good way, and channeled to obsession, but obsession for good. Whereas the
Yes.
Joker is insane and driven to complete chaos, the exact opposite. But in every other way, they're both geniuses. They're both scientists, chemists, all kinds of crazy genius. You have Ra's al Ghul, who is, I would say, the most like a Moriarty to Batman's Sherlock Holmes. He has moments of insanity when he rises again from the Lazarus pit, but he is nearly immortal with so much time behind him, so much experience and wisdom, that it makes him an excellent foil to Batman. Whereas Bane is all of the physical attributes, the obsession with physical perfection, combat prowess, and so forth. But Bane takes shortcuts in as much as the Venom. Although one could also argue a lifetime of survivalism, is very much a Spartan kind of upbringing, which is a very natural way to hone one's peak perfection.
I didn't even think about that, like a Spartan upbringing in response to Bane. I did want to say, someone mentioned Court of Maltese. I don't remember, but I believe in the comic they didn't mention the name of the country. I just knew it was an island nation, and it's in Latin America. I thought maybe Cuba, maybe. It could have been Court of Maltese. They just didn't say.
They see, this is where I love what DC does, is they have a tendency to create fictional locations so that you can't say, oh, Superman's from New York. No, he's not. He's from Metropolis.
Yes.
Nobody can lay claim to Superman. Well, I mean, now there's Metropolis, Illinois, and they lay claim to Superman, but that's a whole other thing. But the bad countries,
Casnia.
We don't want to implicate, anything that's actually going on in the Middle East. We don't want to implicate any actual drug country in South America or Central America.
Right.
We'll create one and just thinly veil that, that's who we're actually talking about.
It's fine, yeah. And let me see. There was a lot of build-up. So I remember that Origin comic came out, I think, shortly before Knightfall starts going underway. So now we have Prelude to Knightfall. One of the things Bane does is he rains chaos on Gotham by figuring out how to get everybody out of Arkham Asylum. I think he blows a hole in it. He gives them weapons. All the inmates, you have the Joker, Ventriloquist, all of his worst villains now on the loose, armed. The police are besides themselves. They don't know what to do. Commissioner Gordon is being yelled at by, at least in the version I had listened to, he's being yelled at by the National Guard, being yelled at by the mayor to maybe call in the National Guard. That's how bad the situation is in Gotham. And what's going on here, Batman is slowly being worn down, right?
Right.
Because he has to go up against all of his villains that he has put away in Arkham Asylum, and they're running chaos throughout the city.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that. Did you? I don't know if you had read this when it came out, or if you were familiar with this, because I know you were. I don't think there was any period where I was actually avidly reading all of Batman. I was very much more a Teen Titans enthusiast. I bought all the new, the new Teen Titans, Tales of the Teen Titans, and so forth. Justice League, Superman, and Supergirl, absolutely. All of the other characters, sporadically. I bought a lot of miniseries, but not a lot of the main titles. What I did was, again, guys,
This was mostly before the internet. We didn't have YouTube videos that sum things up like this. I would refer to the regularly updated monthly issues of Who's Who in the DC universe to get the backstories on a lot of this stuff. So I got the broad strokes of these. I knew Bane's origin without ever having read a single book with him in it.
Right. Yeah, this was just a single issue. It was like the how they had that one Secret Origins comic I bought back around the time of the Batman movies, where they gave the Riddler origin and other things. And,
Right.
but yeah, that was just like an origin issue. We have here, what's this? Gunn, you're not the Batman. Who are you? Santa Claus. Oh, that's funny. That's Bane saying Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different things. I did want to mention if. Here's some other things from the comic book. This is some of the chaos going on, I think. With all the
One other
writers.
thing I do want to say, even though I wasn't a rigid, attendant of these comics, I always was something of a purist about these characters. So when I saw Bane in the Schumacher movie, and even to a certain degree when I saw him in the Nolan movies, I was like, with Nolan, I was like, you got close, buddy, but it's still not right. I really do feel he should have had a Latin American accent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that's where he's from. I feel, here's what I feel. I feel Nolan created a very interesting character with his Bane. It's just not quite the one from the comics. And the one from Batman and Robin is a joke. And
Yeah.
the one on Batman the Animated Series, he actually had an accent, but I almost kind of cheated on Batman the Animated Series because when they introduce him, he's just hired by Rupert Thorne. I'm tired of the Batman. Let's hire someone to take him out. And then they feel there's this guy named Bane we've heard about, and they have him flown in from South America, and it's the Bane we know. And I think later on he was voiced by Henry Silva, which was a great voice actor for Bane. I thought, from Buck Rogers and all that. But yeah, I just. I feel like I feel like on Batman the Animated Series, it was a missed opportunity. Not they probably would have done it anyway, but if they could have done just the regular Batman Animated Series and later on with that universe done this story, I thought that would have been really cool. If they could have finally introduced Bane. We do have Tim Drake's Robin in this series.
Yep.
Who I think is in many ways the voice of reason throughout this whole mess. Because Batman kind of isn't listening, because Batman is driven to stop everything and frankly not taking care of himself while this is going on. And yeah,
people need to understand that anyone who has lost track of the origins of Tim Drake understand that he cut through decades of misunderstanding what Robin was meant to be. And he, in universe, sums up what Robin is supposed to be. Robin is supposed to be the grounding force for Batman. Batman has this drive, this obsession, but by having a sidekick that he needs to both rely on and take care of, as like a fatherly son kind of relationship, it grounds him, causes him to be more rational and less emotional and more responsible, which Batman is prone to not being when left to his own devices, when he doesn't have to worry about anybody else but himself. He can be very self-destructive.
Yes.
But what's the best way to not be self-destructive? Well, I got to be here to take care of so-and-so,
Yeah, exactly. And it gives you something, it gives you a surrogate family, basically. Yeah.
Exactly.
There we go. There's some more things from the comic. The Mad Hatter shows up. Everybody's in this, yeah. I do like the artwork here. But I did want to get into... of course, that's the tumultuous issue where he gets his back broken. And that's why they call this Knightfall. And this is a three-parter, and I don't know if this is correct, because I'm kind of an amateur when it comes to comics in some way, but I often saw this as like a sister series to the Death and Return of Superman.
Kind of, yeah. I'm sure there was inspiration there.
I mean, he doesn't get killed, but he gets broken, basically. Batman gets broken, And he can't be Batman anymore after this. He actually goes kind of on a quest, I think, to see if he can get himself back to where he was, if he can walk again, because he's not even walking yet at this point because he got his back broken. They might have come up with a reason, like maybe a skiing accident or something,
Right.
for why Bruce Wayne was like this. So moving on, but that's all right because we have a substitute Batman in the meantime. So this is the character Azrael, who, if my understanding was correctly, he was comes from a long line of family vigilantes that believe in not justice but vengeance, right?
Exactly.
And they
This
almost
is
dress, yeah.
this
Go ahead.
was we had so and I wanted to piggyback off of what you were saying about the relationship to Death of Superman. Death of Superman was an opportunity for them to introduce new Superman family characters and villains in the absence of Superman. Superman is, for all intents and purposes, dead. Supergirl has to step up. A new Superboy is introduced. And you have, of course, Steel, who existed previously, but now is brought more into prominence. And then you have well, you have actually two others in addition to that. You have the Eradicator, which is, if you only know it from the movies, think about the little green crystal made manifest in a, artificial body of Superman. And you have some sort of cyborg Superman that there's a lot of mystery about who that is, but it's implied to be the reanimated cybernetic body of Superman without the memories of Clark Kent. Spoiler for a 30-year-old property, that's not the case, but that's how it's presented. Great storylines all around, and it was their way of developing the larger narrative. Well, they're doing the same thing with Batman. Instead of killing Batman, he's paralyzed. Do the Robins step in to become one of them, become Batman or something like that, or does someone else? And they introduce this character of Azrael, who is a cautionary Batman story. This is again playing on the Tim Drake purpose for being there, right? This is Batman with no grounding.
Nope.
This is literally taking the I am the darkness, I am the night, to its extreme.
Look at the way he looks there.
See, I never liked this costume, but I don't think you were ever really
You're not supposed
to like
to.
this. Yeah, you're supposed to see this as this is fake Batman. This is not Batman, which of course you were doing with all the various Superman fill-ins too.
I felt kind of bad because I think Jean-Paul Valley, I don't think it was initially his fault because he starts, at least if I'm going by another production of this, he starts out as someone who was just a college student, then he realizes his family has this whole lineage, and it's like there's like conditioning that starts taking over him, and he's trying to fight it. And Batman, I think, wanted to work with him to, look, we can have you be a force for good in Gotham. I can train you. We can overcome this conditioning you have. I think he was originally wanting to reform him and turn him into a superhero like him, Yeah. But it turns out to be a disaster. This guy starts, he does he start murdering people, I think? I mean, he stops Bane, so that was a good thing, right?
Right.
But he becomes uncontrollable. The police can't handle him. It's a disaster. So
I do feel like it's an intentional. Whether your mileage may vary on how it was actually realized, but I did feel like this was them following off of the whole Batman Venom storyline. In a different way.
Maybe I didn't even think about that. Yeah. But because apparently he's losing his grip on sanity as the series goes on. So it's I don't know. I was always very intrigued by this storyline. This had kind of an epic Batman feel because at the same time this guy is taking on the criminals of Gotham and taking on Bane. Batman's trying to fix himself to come back to Gotham, and then eventually the last part is him having the fight of the two Batman, basically. And who's going to be the final one standing. I did want to bring this up, though. This is BBC Radio Batman Knightfall.
Yeah, I find this incredibly, incredibly interesting. I don't know a lot about the backstory behind it. But it has to be a licensing thing between Warner Brothers and BBC. BBC, for all of their faults, has done a great job of doing audio adaptations.
Yeah.
And there's really no other analogy. It's like the radio stories of old.
Yeah.
You know, there's no other way to describe it.
Really professionally done. I listened to this back in high school. This was back in '94 when this came out. So this was a while ago. And I learned later on that they also did a Death and Return of Superman. So they did a production of that as well. And I don't know if they did any other DC productions related, but they were rather well done. Maybe a tad overacted at times, especially when you have characters like the Joker or the Mad Hatter doing their voices.
You know what, though? There is
fun.
no overacting when it comes to those kind of psychotic characters.
Yes.
You need to be completely unhinged for that role.
What's neat, though, is I did want to show you the voice cast on the back. And you may see a familiar face playing Alfred in the top right corner.
That's Gould. What's his name?
The one from the movies. Yes. The Batman Alfred. But Batman Alfred 89. Sorry, should have made a note.
Yeah, I know who he is. I just don't remember his name.
He also played the toy maker in the original
Maker.
Doctor Who. Yeah.
Burton Schumacher, and he was played by someone in the chat's going to get to it before I have a chance, though.
Michael Gough. That's
Michael Gough, yeah, and he played. He was the voice of Alfred. So it's funny when you're listening to this.
Yeah. You hear him as Alfred. It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Sure. Oh, and Troy, if you don't mind, deleted scenes, I'd left a message about checking something. I looked, but I didn't see anything. Maybe you have a better idea what he's talking about. But,
I'll look into it.
Yeah, but no, this was Michael Gough, and the funny thing is when you listen to this, it is a lot like it's the Alfred from the movies. You know, same tenor, and you can almost imagine maybe this is taking place in that Burton universe, maybe further.
Honestly, I always felt he was, of all the Batman Alfreds, he was absolutely the best. And yes, I mean what I say. I mean even more so than the Alfred from the '66 series.
Yeah, very good. Had the perfect tenor, I thought, for Alfred, just in his voice, and compassion too. But good voice cast here, and it's they're all playing, and some of them do multiple parts too on this show too. So it's a wonderful little radio play. And like I said, if you're bored this week and if you have time, it's on YouTube. If you want to see if you could download a copy of it, you could always maybe listen to it while you're on the road or something. But and they also the Death and Return of Superman was another one they did. I think they did a third one too, but I don't remember what it was. But this is where I got most of my information about Knightfall. But apparently they had written a book, novelization of this too, which might be rather good. Maybe I should look into that. But yeah, but if y'all are inclined, it is on YouTube. Several channels have it up, so if you want to listen to it, you can do it that way. But I don't know. This was a very intriguing story. I think it ends well, and things kind of get reset back to where it was.
The one thing is, when did this come out? In the '90s or so?
94. This
94?
did, yeah.
In the '90s, they had this thing about putting like straps on people's upper thighs. You saw that on the John Paul Valley Batman.
Yeah.
And honestly, every cosplayer hates that. It is the stupidest thing. And when you're going to reproduce that, there is no reasonable, logical way to make it work on a costume.
Yeah, I mean, even using Velcro, it still falls.
It slides. It doesn't stay where it's supposed to. Yeah, that is just, hate it. The only way those straps stay on the thigh is if they are somehow sewn to the thigh material, but then there's no give, and you don't have it. It's stupid. It really is stupid.
This really is an awful Batman costume.
It is. It really is. I hate this costume.
It was intended to look demented, like a demented version of Batman.
Well, they succeeded there.
Yes.
I especially hate the Spider-Man-esque fringing on the legs there.
Yeah.
That looks like a Spider-Man symbol. That's not Batman.
Well, it
you
was
know?
the 90s, man.
It
Spider-Man
the
was like the
90s,
king
yeah.
comic at that point, I think. But yeah.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
does that have to do with a bat? You
I know.
It doesn't, because the Azrael dresses like a knight, like a medieval
Yeah.
knight, like a dark medieval knight, and he's trying to make the Batman costume like that of a knight. Even though Batman is, of course, known as a Knightfall, because like the knight thing isn't just about Batman; it's also about Azrael in this too.
Right.
So, yeah. Which
And I understand going for the whole Dark Knight concept and taking
Yeah.
the knight part of it seriously, but even that, I feel the costume kind of falls short.
But nice little radio play if you get to check it out as well. So, I'll have to look for the novelization. But I actually want to read this, and we will have an update later tonight. There is another adaptation that's coming out, which, fingers crossed. But for now,
Yeah.
let's get into the news. Margaret Carey, the model for Tinkerbell and Peter Pan, dies at 97.
I didn't share the New York Times article because it's behind a paywall. That's
What
the
else
biggest
is
problem.
new?
But I loved their title. Their title was the best. Referred to her as the body and soul of Tinkerbell, and that is so quintessentially true. We talk about, and look, last weekend I spent a lot of time talking to voice actors, and I castigate myself because I don't remember their names. You guys probably all know them. The bloke that does the voice, for example, of Obi-Wan Kenobi in all the animated features and so forth, and a lot of these other voice actors who literally embody the roles. But you could argue that the guy that steps in to play Obi-Wan or that steps in to do the voice of the clones, they're not the original actors, and you give more credit to, whether it's Sir Alec Guinness or to who's the younger one that's playing him now?
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor or whatever, right. There is no other Tinkerbell. Okay, yes, I know they did that cartoon that gave her a voice and everything. Peter Pan's Tinkerbell did not have a voice. She had musical notes. She was pantomime. She was physically acted by this actress, who literally acted out every single one of the roles you see her in, doing those facial expressions that we all kind of fell in love with.
Yep.
Let's be honest, okay? Not to make it creepy, but we know that people there are internet rules about these kinds of things, so there's a whole area of the internet dedicated to Tinkerbell in that regard, but that's because people fell in love with her, right?
Yes.
This is who gave us that character that we fell in love with more than anything else. I want to be very clear about that.
But yeah, Margaret Carey, perky actress dancer, served as model and inspiration for the Disney animators, creating the Pixie Tinkerbell from 1953 classic Peter Pan has died. She was 97. It's with profound sadness that we share the news of the passing of Margaret Carey, our beloved Tinkerbell. Said a family statement on Carey's Facebook page. Margaret passed peacefully into the arms of Jesus on June 11, 2026 in Wilmington, North Carolina. Her three adoring children, Ellen, Christine, and Eric, were with her as she lost her courageous battle with lung cancer at the age of 97. Well, rest in peace.
I remember as a child crying my eyes out at that cartoon and clapping like an idiot to bring her back. And when I saw this article, I was like, I couldn't bring her back,
Yeah. It's just sad. But she was in a lot of stuff. She was in The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, 1938.
Yep. Yes, she was.
The Star Maker. I mean, she was. I think she was in Our Gang, in an episode of Our Gang. She was a lot of stuff. But Carey also appeared on a 1950 episode of The Lone Ranger and on two first-season installments of The Andy Griffith Show, in 1960's Christmas Story as Bess Muggins, and in 1961's Andy Forecloses as Helen Scobie. Okay, so if you want to see her, I guess in her prime, go back to that. But asked by Corcus what she thought when she saw Peter Pan for the first time, she replied, "Like everyone else, I was enchanted. It is such a happy film. When you look up at the screen, that's me up there. It's a wonderful thing. It's been a blessing." Well,
So
yeah,
I think that all of the articles kind of they mention it, but I don't think give it enough weight. Her talent as a dancer was very important. She
yes,
literally was the physical embodiment of this character. And when I mentioned pantomime, she probably never even thought of it this way. But those facial features, the attitude, the puffed out cheeks and all that, and you'll see it in the girls that play if they still do this. I don't know if they still do this. They have the girls going around in Disney World playing her. They know how to be Tinkerbell. But
yes,
they're mimicking her. They're mimicking Margaret Carey.
yeah. As long as they're so allowed to do that, because I remember they were trying to get rid of Tinkerbell from
Yeah.
Disney World. It's like, don't do that. Rest in peace.
Absolutely.
We did cover this last week, but I thought you might want to share
Thank
your own
you.
thoughts on
I
that. Yeah.
did because see this was a crazy thing because I wasn't without internet last weekend, so that's why I was able to get into the chat that Friday, and I was literally in my hotel room when I saw this. Boomer shared it. I don't think Boomer was intentionally sharing it directly with me. We just use the chat that we use
Yeah.
to accumulate the articles for Sunday. And I saw this and I'm like, damn, I literally just was talking with what's his name?
Clavin.
Yeah, the guy who plays Cliff. Ratzenberger. John Ratzenberger. This is just uncanny. Well, we got to talk with him again the following day, that Saturday.
Oh. Okay.
And we were sitting and talking with the guy who is the MC asking the questions in the question and answer session with him. And Jonas J. Campbell turned to the guy and said, "Did you hear that James Burrow passed yesterday?" And he said, and you, for a moment, you know how it is. You hear a name and you're like, where do I know that name from? And he's like, the co-creator of Cheers.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no. He said, look, I gotta go. I gotta go confirm this. I gotta read up on this because I don't want to blindside. I need to be aware of this. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. We understand. So he took the time, looked it up. It was absolutely true. And he said he came out of the backstage area, kind of ran past us. He goes, I want to go talk to John before we go on stage. I don't know where he's at on this, and I don't want to blindside him. So it turns out that John Ratzenberger was aware of it, was saddened, very saddened, but not so much so that he couldn't talk about it or go on. It was like, look, I hate to say this, but we get to an age where we're like, it sucks, but I'm not that surprised. I expect to start losing friends, family, myself, maybe not too far down the line.
No.
So this is something we deal with and have to be prepared for. So he brought it up and he's like, did you want to talk at all about James Burrows? He goes, well, we were talking about him just yesterday. He says it's impossible for me to talk about Cliff without talking about James Burrows. Now, guys, keep in mind, I'm not quoting. I'm totally paraphrasing. But this isn't a story he hasn't told publicly many, many times. He talks about how he was in New York. He was originally doing some acting gigs in London, which of course is why he's in, what do you call it? Empire Strikes Back and Superman, because those were filmed in London, right?
Yes.
And he was an extra in both of those movies. He happened to be in New York, and I don't remember why he said he was here. He had a ticket to fly out the next day, but someone convinced him to go do a
Audition.
I almost said interview, but yeah, audition for this Cheers, and he said, I had never actually done an audition before at all. It was all extra work you don't usually audition for. So he says, so I go in for the audition, and I don't remember what he said he was auditioning for, if it was for like the Ted Danson role or like the coach role or what it was. And he said, and it just didn't go well. It just didn't go well. And he said, and I don't know if he said he saw it or he imagined as he was turning around walking out, his headshot falling into the garbage can. You know, he's like, he knew. And as he was he had his hand on the door, he said, by the way, do you have a pub know-it-all? I'm like, what do you mean? And he goes, well, you know, my dad, and then he starts going into this whole yarn about, you know, going to a Boston pub, because he was originally from the Boston area.
Right.
He's like, and he's doing this voice, very Boston, right? He's getting into Boston character. It's like, you know, you always got this guy who is at the bar, and anything you bring up, he just knows everything about it. And he looked, I don't know, he picked up something that was on the desk, and he says,
Pen.
oh yeah, Big Pen. He goes, you know how Big Pen got its name? And he just goes into this whole yarn about it. And they're like, is that true? They go, look it up. And that's literally how the character of Cliff Clavin was invented. That was James Burrows, who he was talking to, and who decided, we need you to play this role. So his whole career, really, he owes to James Burrows. At least that's what he said last weekend. So there you go. You know, that's what I wanted.
Good story.
All of that. Yeah. Exactly.
I like your Bruce Boxleitner story. But you have to listen to a Troy stream from Friday. You should probably clip that the Bruce Boxleitner thing you ran into while you were up there. Like
I'm gonna have to clip it because I got to tell you guys, I got to go back and clip it because I don't remember half of the stream. For Friday.
It's the story about when he looks at a plate and he says, "Who the F is this?" And I laughed.
That's right. I honestly wish that Andy and Gary could have been there for that because it was really their story to tell.
Oh, wow.
But it was Gary's idea to go around and get a picture with. So we have a picture with John Ratzenberger, with William Catt, and with Bruce Boxleitner. And for Bruce Boxleitner, we wanted to recreate that poster where he's holding up the disc.
Yeah,
and
the classic Trump
He's
poster.
like, what are we going to, we're not going to find it. And he goes, well, we just need any white disc. And we're walking around, we literally found a $5 bin of whatever you find in here for $5. And it was one of those collector's plates with Daisy Ridley on it. And we bring it up and we're like, can you hold this up? And he's like, yeah, sure. What is this? And he looks, he goes, are you guys serious? We're like, it was the $5 bin. It's nothing. It means nothing to us. And he's like, okay, I see. I get it for the picture. And then they're like, would you sign this? Yep. We want to give it. He's going to give it to Doomcock. I know he's going to give it to Doomcock. I have no doubt about it. And he's like, would you, somehow funny sign it? And he goes, he signs it and he says, who the hell is this? Bruce Boxleitner, and then in quotes Tron. Everything that he signs that is in any way Tron related, he puts Bruce Boxleitner and then in quotes Tron because that's just how he does it. Cool. I get that because Sarah Douglas did that when she did Pamela. She signed a picture of Pamela from V. So she signs Sarah Douglas and then in quotes Pamela. What was funny about that one was we did this in Metropolis, and she was signing so many Ursas that she takes the Pamela picture, signs it Sarah Douglas, in quotes, Ursula, and she's like, oh my gosh, I wrote the wrong name. She says, give me another picture. I'm like, no, that's fine. It's okay. She goes, no, it's not fine. I need to do this right. You took the time to choose a specific picture. I need to. And I'm like, these people are some of them. The ones I've encountered have been so wonderful in those regards.
They're regular people, yes.
Oh my gosh. And
so down to earth.
I was surprised by how down to earth, and honestly, he might not want me to say this, but based Bruce Boxleitner was. But and John Ratzenberger too. So I don't know. some of these people that we talk about, and we talk about their accomplishments in these segments, like we're doing with James Burrows, you don't know. He might just have been the kind of guy you wanted to sit down and have a drink with, too. You just never know if you can't meet them, in this mortal plane.
Yeah. No, it was a great story, and like I said, yeah, you should rewatch it. It's kind of fun, the stories you told from that night.
It was a lot of fun.
Who's this guy?
Who is this?
All right, let's just get this over with.
Oh, dude.
Microsoft raises Xbox console prices again starting August 1st.
They're even doing it in the title. Raises the prices again. It's like even they can't refrain from doing that.
Who wrote this? Keith Mitchell wrote this article for the outerhaven.net. I'm going to give him full credit because it's kind of funny. He talks about it. Hold on.
He's saying what a lot of us are thinking, let me tell you.
Quit Safari now. Thank you. Okay. All right. Here we go. Look, I'm not even going to candy coat this, so it's probably a good thing.
You can't. You can't.
That he says, so it's probably a good thing this isn't YouTube. We gamers are basically effed. I'm not going to say that. We've had to deal with several price hikes across console and PC hardware, and now here's another one with Xbox revealing that it's raising the prices for its Xbox Series XS consoles. Starting on August 1st, 2026, here are the new price points in case you were looking to pick up an Xbox console. Xbox Series X 1TB old price $649.99. New price $799.99. Xbox Series X 1TB digital old price $59.99. New price $749.99. That's the Xbox Series X without the drive. Okay. Xbox Series S 1TB old price $449.99. New price $599.99. That's a lot. That's like $150 from up for that. An Xbox Series S 512GB old price $399. New price $499.99. 512 gigabytes on an all digital console. What are you going to be able to fit on that thing?
So. This is going to sound like, bear with me, folks. This is going to sound like me defending, these companies. I am not doing that. I do want to be intellectually honest, though.
That's fine.
Because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to come out and say, rightly so, a lot of these price hikes are because the price of processors and chips are going through the effing roof because of all the AI BS.
Yes, it is.
That you'll have to tune into a near future last call as we get more into this AI stuff. But be that as it may, this is the law of supply and demand. I got my computer at probably the new one that I'm currently streaming from. Probably at the absolute best time before prices skyrocketed, and I knew it was coming. So there is that. I'm going to temper that, though, with the reality that these companies use that as an excuse to bilk you. Any good, reasonable company would look at this and go, how the hell do I compete in this market? The best thing I can do is find ways to give them more since they are paying more. So that drive that may not cost as much because it doesn't use any expensive components, we're going to throw in a drive for free. We're not going to raise the price because of that. That's going to be a selling feature. And, this, that, and the other, and we'll give them some more, some free games, some free whatever, certain amount of
I would be giving some free games, yes.
Anything you can give away that costs you nothing.
The digital games
because
cost
you are
nothing.
So raising the price on this. But they're not doing that. That is poor business. That is poor management. And going back to what Tree Rock was saying, Xbox console's dead, Jim. It deserves to be. It should be. Save your money. Tell them to go F themselves.
On top of that, Xbox is phasing out the 2TB Xbox Series X because storage is getting as pricey as RAM. So you can't get the 2TB console anymore.
That does still kind of jive. I would almost argue what they should do, scale it back. I don't know, what do they scale it back to? 1 terabyte or something? And then keep the possibility of a 2 terabyte upgrade if you want to pay the crazy freaking price of the storage.
This is a disaster. Gaming consoles function on you either download your game by purchasing it digitally, or if you buy a physical copy, it often takes it from the disc and installs it onto the system.
Right.
Because they can't read off Blu-rays. This was discovered in the PlayStation 3 era, and you need that hard drive space. And there's other stuff. I think there's microprocessors. Or
well,
whatever.
Look, this is very basic computers. Even I understand this. Reading off of some sort of ROM, some sort of a disk, and reading off of a hard drive, the speed is night and day. You want it resident on your hard drive to access as quickly as possible for as seamless a gameplay as possible. Just saying.
Agent Ray, that all depends on the amount of data such a game is going to have. Red Dead Redemption 2 had a giant ton of memory, takes up memory space. Why did I buy that on the PS4? I'm going to have to try installing it.
Because you never listen to me?
Well, no, here's the thing. I have a large external for the PS4. I bought it a while back because I figured I just wanted to hedge my bets for the future, which was smart. So, and you can run games off externals on a PlayStation 4. That's last-gen hardware.
Jesse's getting a little ahead of us, but warning to everyone, do not pre-order GTA 6 on digital. We're
going to get to that. We're getting that soon enough. Let me get to this other Xbox.
But I do appreciate the engagement, guys. I'm glad you're here for this conversation. And there's DJ Ronnie G. Good to see you, my friend.
There's a solution in play for you and your Xbox woes. As Xbox gets pricier, Microsoft launches buy now, pay later scheme on consoles. Who's calling it a scheme?
Yeah, well, okay, so there's a line from Twin Peaks, and I think I'm going to butcher it, but Dale Cooper says, credit may be the fast track to an appearance of affluence, but solvency will keep you warm at night or something like that. And it's great advice. Guys, never pay for something you don't need using credit. You will always end up paying 2 and 3 times more just in the financing fees. Pay cash if you can, or the modern equivalent of paying cash. Pay it off right now. If you can't afford it, you really need to question whether or not you need it.
Earlier today, Microsoft raised the price. Yes, we know about that. What's the game plan? To retain gaming enthusiasts, Microsoft introduced a new installment-based payment scheme for its consoles that is now going live through its official storefronts. Buy now, pay later system is currently available for the Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X consoles for both new and refurbished. Now that the price of the Xbox has gone up to $150, I guess, for the base, Microsoft is introducing buy now, pay later option. We made it easier for players to use buy now, pay later options on eligible Xbox hardware purchases through the Microsoft Store, making it possible to break up your payment. Do you know what I bought for my first Xbox, the Xbox One S last generation? Do you know what I paid?
What?
$199.99. It came also packaged with a free copy of Minecraft and a controller. For just $200, and now they're charging what for these? This is insane. I don't understand this. I mean, granted, I got a deal, but still, this is nuts. And it came with 1 terabyte on it too. None of this 512 nonsense. In order to avail the buy now, pay later benefit of the Microsoft Store, which is essentially an extension of the PayPal pay later system, you purchase must be approved before you can decide the duration over which you want to pay the full cost of the Xbox console. Are they going to charge interest on this?
Yes, that's exactly right. Dude, this is no different than the scheme when you buy a new or used car and you do the financing. You know that the dealership is making a financing deal there, and now this is Microsoft getting in on the having their hand in your pocket as much as possible.
I guess so. This now means that Nintendo is the cheapest option on the market. We were complaining about how expensive they were last year.
Yeah.
This is where we are. Okay, Grand Theft Auto 6. Let's talk about this. Oh. Grand Theft Auto 6 Physical Edition is leaving fans furious for a good reason. Gamers still have a while to wait before they can play Grand Theft Auto 6, but now they can officially start working it into their budget. Not long after unveiling the GTA 6 cover art, the studio revealed the full game price. Fans have speculated that GTA 6 would be the most expensive of the franchise, and they were right. Grand Theft Auto 6 will have a $79 don't say $79, $79.99 price tag, with the Ultimate Edition coming at $99.99. Here's my question. Will the Ultimate Edition just be the version you're supposed to get?
Probably.
And they're going to, they're going to, I don't use the phrase, gimp the regular edition to get you to spend the extra $20?
Lynn Green is absolutely right. She says, physical edition is false advertising. That's true.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Because it's not a
no
physical
longer,
edition.
and honestly, I want to see the lawsuit that should arise from that.
So, everyone knew that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be more expensive. On the other hand, a portion of the fan base feels like the game will secretly cost $100 for the full experience. They're going to cut something out of it that you want.
Right.
So you're going to have to pay the extra $20. Maybe they'll charge you more if you bought the $80 version to get what you would have gotten for the $100 version.
Oh, God.
And later on. But Rockstar's Choice makes the physical edition of Grand Theft Auto 6 a storage container for a download code. Yes, so, yeah, okay. Ultimate Edition is rubbing some gamers the wrong way. Rockstar revealed that physical copies will be empty boxes containing a download code for a digital version of the game. So you're not getting an actual disc with this game. You're getting a code to install on. You type into your Xbox storefront or your PlayStation storefront, and then it will download the game onto your console. You will not be getting a physical edition of this game. Rockstar's choice to make the physical edition of Grand Theft Auto 6 a storage container for a download code has seriously upset some fans who are voicing their complaints online. So just a box of wasted plastic for a one-time download code to be mailed to you, purchased from a store.
And I'm going to tell you this, for those fans that are complaining, your complaints don't mean crap. The only thing that matters is withholding your money. If you pay for this, then you are bending over and spreading your butt cheeks.
Now, originally people who were speculating on this, and I will, not that I want to defend this decision, but I think they were worried that someone would get their hands on a physical copy of the game, it would leak to market, and then people would be able to play it early, okay, and or someone would be able to hack it or put it online, and they're worried about spoilers coming out for the game before its release. But I don't think that's what's going on here, frankly, because I think it's been leaked recently. They were thinking that a physical edition may come later on, but now I think another leak said the physical edition is never coming. This will be a digital-only game, and like many Rockstar games, this will take up a lot of space on your hard drive.
Do not. I agree with what John said. Do not pre-order this if you buy it at all. You really shouldn't be. You really shouldn't. You should not continue to reward this because they will continue to take and take and take. It's the Lando Calrissian. This deal keeps getting worse all the time. Well, you keep buying into it.
But here's what's
companies that don't support you.
Right.
Here's the problem. I think a lot of people may not be as savvy about this stuff as you and I. Think they're just going to rush out and buy the latest Grand Theft Auto game. It's probably the most anticipated video game coming out this year. It's one of these hype series, and I think people will say, well, I don't like this, but I want to play the game. And here's another problem. If this game sells well, very well, which it may, and it's a digital-only game, what does this do to other companies with their physical games?
They will all start doing this.
Yes.
Every single one of them. So that you could have your Grand Theft Auto game, you've completely destroyed the market.
Physical media will be no more.
Yeah.
I mean, this is even worse than what Nintendo was doing with those game key cards, because at least those were physical. And to be fair, Nintendo, I don't want to give them too much credit, but their first party games, they do put them on the game.
Let me just say too, we're also talking about game companies that put out half-finished games to begin with. You're paying these premium prices for these games that don't effing work.
Well, that happened with Doom. That required a download when it came out. The latest Doom game, the Dark Age, that was not all on the disc. I didn't get around to doing that story because we had too many at the time. But yeah, this is not good. This is not good. This is the deal just keeps getting worse each year. So, but that's okay because Steam is coming to rescue us all. The Steam machine price has been unveiled.
Yeah.
You remember we talked about the Steam machine?
Yes.
Steam's going to come out on the console. They're going to have a consoleized Steam machine for people who want the convenience of a
And
console.
as I recall, we were both going, "Why? What good is this? What is the point of
Well,
this?"
I thought it would be ease of use, but it's going to come out, and frankly, see you later, Xbox. This could be the new. I thought this could be the new third console or third pillar in the gaming space would be Steam, and they would kick Xbox out. Here's another article. Oof, ouch, yikes. We now have an official price for Valve's Steam machine, a pre-built console-esque gaming PC that mean then to live in your living room instead of under your desk. It'll cost you more than twice the price of a gaming console. Here are the eye-popping numbers. Steam machine, 512 gigabyte, $1,049. Steam machine, 512 gigabyte with a controller. That one didn't come with a controller. $1,128. Steam machine 2 terabyte, $1,349. Steam machine 2 terabyte with controller, $1,428. What do you think?
I think I don't need it. I didn't think I needed it when I had no idea what it was going to cost, because I'm already using Steam on my PC, and I don't need some extra machine. And I sure as hell don't need it at that price.
Some people are arguing I could just build my own version of this and it can run Steam for less money than what they're charging.
Exactly.
I feel dead inside about hearing digital only pass, given the fact that I have been waiting for more than 10 years, more than 10 effing years for GTA 6. Rockstar has ended. Okay, Jesse, it's not good. Maybe they'll release a physical edition down the line. That's all I can tell you. I'm actually trying. Believe it or not, I don't like the Schadenfreude stomping on people. I know you were looking forward to this. But yeah, it looks like right now it's physical only. The rumors that have been floating around that there will never be a physical edition, though. But that could change. You never know. Okay? That's all I can tell you. All right? Sometimes games get physical editions. I didn't think we were going to get physical editions. But for now, it doesn't look likely. But I could be wrong.
But the fact that you guys are even talking about the possibility of whether it will or it won't shouldn't even exist. It should be a certainty that there is going to be a physical release. And if there's not, if there's even a question, you need to start raising the middle finger to these companies.
That's a lot of money. And I'm sorry, Steam is an all digital console because that's how Steam works. And it's...
Yes.
It's
but
yeah.
I'll be honest with you. The whole reason I even have a Steam library is because these digital versions of the games are so cheap.
And Boomer keeps buying them for you.
Yes, that's true.
Boomer's bought a bunch of them for me.
Steam does digital better than anybody else. I'll say that.
Yeah,
and they're
it
less
comes
restrictive.
down to understanding the difference between physical and if I am getting a physical game, I want the game to own forever that I can play offline away from you. If you are giving me a digital thing that I can lose at any time, but you're making it so cheap I can think of it as a rental, I'm okay with that. That's a choice I should be able to make, you know?
Yeah. Do you know what Steam was doing after they posted this on X? People responding with the Danny DeVito meme of him just nodding his head no. Nope, that's okay.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
no, no one's buying this thing. It's dead on arrival. Because if people want to play Steam, they'll just play it on their computer or build their own. They're not going to buy this thing. It's not going to happen. Well, we have some Sony news this week. A studio shattered the aftermath of the mass Bungie layoffs. Bungie were the people that created Halo. Then they left Halo with Xbox and they made their own company. And then they started making a game called Destiny for Activision. And then Sony bought Bungie. And they bought Bungie and now they're firing everybody. So, okay. I don't understand this. And it could be that this is like a poison pill, like maybe all the talented people at Bungie had left a while ago. Because I'm sorry, when you buy a studio, none of the people that started the studio or made it great are still there. What are you buying?
Exactly.
I guess you're buying intellectual property, but you don't get access to Halo because that's still owned by Xbox.
Well,
so.
and look at what happened to Disney. They bought a bunch of intellectual property, got rid of all the talent, and now they're left holding an empty bag, essentially.
I really wonder how Avengers is going to do this winter. But okay.
You know how Avengers is going to do. Don't even say that you're wondering.
Once Destiny 2 announced it was going to end development and the live content being put in a kind of maintenance mode that didn't even include a skeleton team, the writing was on the wall. Bungie would be hit with layoffs, and as early reporting indicated, the scale would be huge. This is exactly what's happened. On Thursday, Bungie was almost cut in half by Sony-led layoffs that touch all pieces of the company, wiping out decades of history and mountains of talent. Here's where things stand, even as more information comes in. According to the official numbers filed in the WARN notice, at least 292 Bungie employees have been laid off in Washington. The cutoff date there was July 9th and does not include other locations or contractors. This includes the entire Destiny 2 team, barring perhaps one or two exceptions that may surface. Previously, some had already been moved over to Marathon, but that was not part of what happened yesterday. It's everyone, I was told yesterday by those witnessing events in real time. Additional layoffs affected at least some developers on Marathon and some at SIE who were supporting Bungie. The layoffs also included contractors on both Destiny and Marathon, with the former being somewhat chaotic situation in which those contractors were supposed to help test and implement the last hotfix for Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is an online shoot 'em up game, like Call of Duty. Okay. What's happened with just what's happened with the much derided leadership of Bungie and somewhat of a tangled web? Justin Tremaine, the head of Bungie, who replaced Pete Parsons, has stepped down. There are parts of Bungie. It's always leaders step down; they don't get fired. I've noticed this. Co-founder Jason Jones has also departed. There is no word on Bungie OG. Tyson Green, the all but invisible director of Destiny 2. But these are not layoffs in the traditional sense, as many of the oldest and most key members of Bungie have Sony cash-out deals resulting from the sale of the studio that are vesting this month. We do not have an actual list of names and figures, but it stands to reason this has to do with who has left and why. Here's I'm not an expert on Bungie, but I know they were a major game studio because they created Halo, among other things, and they did Destiny, and now it looks like they're being gutted because I think they did a disaster with Marathon, which was another live service game Sony was trying to fund, which I think bombed. And now everybody's getting fired. So I think there's a lot of mismanagement going on with these studios. But anyway, that's all. Any thoughts? Okay, let's move on.
No. I just... I just roll my eyes at what these companies are doing. It's the same in the game industry as it is in movies. Yes, no, that's a perfect transition.
Supergirl flops hard on opening day. Will open well below the Marvels. That's bad.
That is incredibly bad. That is incredibly bad. Literally, they are giving Brie Larson bragging rights here, as low a bar as that might be.
Do you know when Bruce Voxleitner said, who the F is this? I imagine him looking at Millie Alcock as Superman saying, who the F is this?
I know, right?
It's like, okay. Warner Brothers and DC Studios have another major flop problem on their hands with the disastrous opening of Supergirl. After weeks of declining tracking, Supergirl has officially stumbled out of the gate. Much like she does in the movie. Okay. With Friday numbers pointing toward an opening weekend of around 40 million or less domestically. If those estimates hold, the film will debut well below Marvel Studios' The Marvels, which opened to 47 million in 2023 before becoming one of the biggest financial disappointments in superhero movie history. Yeah, you know what Captain Marvel doesn't do in The Marvels? I don't think she stumbles around throwing up drunk for half the movie, right? So it has that going for it.
Oh, God. True.
For James Gunn...
Not just throwing up. Apparently, this is the first movie where a major superhero is shown taking a leak.
Wonderful.
No. Snarky J said that would be the next step, and wouldn't be surprised if it happened. The pooping is what she eats. I'm not even joking, my friends.
Oh no. I think I know the scene you're referring to. I think I saw
yes.
the clip. For
Yes.
James Gunn, Peter Safran, and Warner Brothers, this is a troubling sign that the new DC universe is struggling to build momentum after Superman failed to ignite the box office the way many expected. Just a few weeks ago, industry tracking suggested Supergirl could open north of 50 million. Those projections steadily deteriorated leading into release. Now, following Friday's box office performance, the latest estimates place the film at roughly 40 million for its opening weekend after earning about 18 million on Friday, including 7.8 million on Thursday preview screenings. That's a dramatic fall from earlier expectations that places the film among the weakest openings for a modern DC superhero movie. Did it do worse than Black Adam, though? That's what I'm curious about. Supergirl's now projected to open below the Marvels at the box office, a movie that's become a poster child for superhero fatigue after earning just 47 million domestically during its opening weekend and only 206 million worldwide for its entire run. Yeah, this is from WDW Pro. But apparently Toy Story 5 is completely dominating, and Disney and Pixar sequel is expected to collect approximately 74 million. So Toy Story 5 is doing fine, but I just don't get it. What do you think's the main problem here? Is it the star? Is it?
So there's a whole world of stuff that goes into this. Yes. So Millie Alcott clearly is taking her marketing lessons from Brie Larson and Rachel Zegler, pissing off the primary audience for this and them not showing up, right? If you're a white Christian male, you don't need to come see this movie. And guess what? Most of your audience was white Christian males, so they didn't show up. But I also feel like if you don't fall into that category, you're still in a world where you look at that and go, you turn on these people, you're going to turn on me too. You don't need my support either. People were also dissatisfied with everything that came before it coming from Gunn. So this needed to be a knock it out of the park desire to see it before anyone was going to go and drop money on this, you know. And then we are all getting tired of superheroes that aren't heroes. Every one of these James Gunn movies, the hero murders somebody. Or you have a hero murdering somebody. I should take that back. Superman didn't murder anybody, but Hawkgirl did.
Yes.
Guess what? With a whole story about we don't take revenge, Supergirl at the end, spoiler, because you guys shouldn't be seeing this movie anyway. Supergirl goes and murders the guy and says, do as I say, not as I do, to the girl that's with her.
Wonderful. They don't understand superheroes. They don't understand.
They don't understand heroes, period.
I don't think they understand.
They don't understand effing morality. Remember, this is James Gunn. Now, yes, James Gunn did not direct this, but he is trying to throw the writer under the bus for this. He's trying to not take responsibility. Is this the James Gunn verse or not? Is this not the DC James Gunn universe created by and run by James Gunn, or is it not? What are you getting paid for, James Gunn, if you're not in charge of this stuff and not taking responsibility for it? But this is James Gunn, the same person who, well, he has the history he has. I don't need to outline it for you.
So yeah, this was a Christian Dad's interview too.
Yeah, this is the funny thing because we talked about this before, but I love the fact that Variety is reposting it as they see what's happening to Supergirl. Nobody is running cover for Supergirl in the mainstream media. Nobody.
The interview was disastrous for Supergirl. Alcott claims that it's all right to piss off the right kind of people and mock Christian dads and superhero fans. It was a massive blow to the actress's reputation. What specifically did she say about Christian? Okay, data for Christian, hilarious to me. It's a lot of people. Okay, when asked about toxic fan reactions, Alcock argued that much of the criticism comes from anonymous online accounts who are joking. It's a lot of people whose profiles have no photo, who are burner accounts or someone's name and then data for Christian, which is hilarious to me. She then added, whose opinion do you really care about? If you're pissing off the right kind of people, you're doing okay.
Yeah. Read that how you want. It's incredibly dismissive and derogatory. You don't deserve the marketing dollars from the people you're pissing off. I don't care. that you think you have the moral high ground, you can have the moral high ground in bankruptcy. Shut your mouth, play your role. That was that's the other side of what John Ratzenberger was saying. Well, I just did a job. I played the role, I went home. So he would never get into any of this kind of stuff, and that's the way it should be.
This makes me almost nostalgic for Zack Snyder, almost. Here's the thing. Is the Gunverse worse than in the Snyderverse at this point?
I think they're just as bad. I think the bar is so low for both of them. It's just a different flavor of bad. I mean, do you prefer your feces chunky or smooth?
Is that talked about in this movie?
No, but I mean, she certainly does eat what comes out of a worm's butt.
You could take her out of the Supergirl outfit, and this would still be one of those bad, I'm a bad girl, I get drunk a lot and stuff movie.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Where it's like, now I gotta defend somebody, so okay, I'm gonna get myself into a fight and defend somebody.
Yeah, you could have done this story without it being Supergirl, but don't talk about taking her out of the Supergirl suit, because I think all the people defending this are the ones that want to get Millie Alcott out of her suit, because I guess they don't look at her face. I don't know.
Yes, anyway, Gunn is shooting blanks. I don't know, man. I did not care for Creature Commandos. That was his cartoon series he did.
I don't appreciate a season of a show that focuses on a drunk, drug-using anti-hero that goes to parties with full frontal nudity. This is how you're promoting your superheroes universe?
They really? Want it to be like The Boys. That's what they want it to be like. They don't understand this.
Then make up your own superheroes. That's not what DC is.
I don't know.
And this is why it's going broke. I mean, you can argue, well, I liked it, I enjoyed it, I had fun. You can't argue the numbers. There weren't enough people to go shove popcorn into their faces and say that they enjoyed this. There just aren't. You are in the minority. Okay, read the room. And you can like what you like, but it's not your money that's being burned here.
Supergirl equals Jessica Jones. Well, that's the problem. She's not Jessica Jones. That's not her character.
Yeah, and Jessica Jones was at least a compelling character. You know? They didn't have to rewrite Jessica Jones to tell that story. Yeah, the math don't lie, exactly.
So, yeah. So how big of a disaster is this for Warner Media? And doesn't matter at this point because they're getting sold. Provided the sale finally goes through.
I was just going to say, it's not a certainty. It really isn't. I do believe it's going to go through, and here's why. If I was the Ellisons, I would look at this and go, you're not worth what we're paying for.
What are you buying here? Think about it.
Yeah, well, they're buying IPs is what they're doing.
Yeah,
and they know it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is, I would argue, every day that goes by that this sale hasn't gone through, you're devaluing the company more and more and more. You know what? Maybe we just walk away from it. The problem is, though, that they've built in so many contingencies. If this doesn't go through, they're still going to end up spending a lot of money.
I know. I'm just... They need to get their act together, especially in the...
But I don't see it. If presumably when the Paramount deal goes through, James Gunn is out. There is no way they can justify keeping him.
Sarah Proctor says DC Comics hasn't really been profitable since Warner Brothers has bought it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on there.
And again, I'm going to point to, and it's not, I'm going to use one person as an example, but this applies to so many people in the industry. Zaslav doesn't care about the profitability of Warner Brothers. He only cares about his own profitability. So he makes the decisions that put him in the best position for a golden parachute, and screw you guys as he walks out the door.
You know what this is? This is the money pit, but a movie studio. That's what Warner Brothers
Oh my
is.
God!
It's
You
like
know,
the
that is a great
yeah.
analogy, Boomer. You're actually right. Yes.
It's like that movie, The Money Pit, where you think you're getting
Yep.
this nice house, and then it's falling apart on the inside, and that's what you're getting with Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
It should have the potential to be the number one studio in the world, but they just keep missing the target every time. On second thought, though, well, actually, I'm not going to make a verdict yet, okay? But this is a scene from an animated production they have going on called Batman Knightfall, tying back to our intro. Remember,
Yep.
we talked about Knightfall. For comic book fans of a certain age, Knightfall is one of the biggest Batman story arcs ever published by DC Comics. The arc is infamous for having the Caped Crusader's back broken by the super steroid-enhanced genius Bane. It served as a major source of inspiration for Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises and has been adapted as episodes of several animated shows. Not really, but okay. It's a big storyline that has been given its due until now. Yes, you're right about that. When Peter Gerhaldy, executive vice president of Warner Brothers Animation, took the stage at the 2026 Annecy Animation Festival to introduce the film. He recognized the magnitude of the source material. You all know this is a very important story in the Batman mythology, Gerhaldy told an enthusiastic festival crowd. It's so big that it was so consequential to the Batman story that it takes place over 3 films. So this is a trilogy of films, all animated. The first in the trilogy, Part 1, Knightfall, premiered at Annecy to thunderous applause, with audiences responding to the humor, the gnarly action, and the prominent role of the third Robin, Tim Drake. It's a story that we've held on for many years because we really wanted to get it right. We needed the right team we needed to get the right team together, Girardi added. The film stars Anson Mount as Batman, Michael Mandel as Bane, Pablo Schreiber as Jean-Paul Valley, a.k.a. Azrael. You know who else is in this, though? Bruce Boxleitner as Commissioner Gordon.
Wow,
Yes.
interesting.
And also David Dismalkian as the Riddler. He could play the Riddler in a live-action film if they ever wanted to do that. So we'll see. I'll say this from the trailer. It looks like they spent some money on it. The one complaint the one reviewer had, and I also tend to agree, is that Bane does not have a Latin accent in it, unless he's just been working on his English accent in it. But other than that, though, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna wait. I'm taking a wait and see approach to this. Okay, when it comes out, I'll watch it. Okay. And if I like it, I'll sing its praises. That's how I look at it. Because there have been other animated Batman projects in recent years that I've not cared for. Cough, Caped Crusader, cough. I heard also they're doing an Absolute Batman series, which I don't even know if I even like the Absolute Batman comic from what I've heard of it. So I don't know. I need something, man. I miss Batman. Okay, I miss Batman. Want Batman back. We can't get Batman back because it's all tied up with the Pattinson Batman sequel that's not getting made.
Don't even.
What are they going to be able to do for the Gunn Batman movie? I think that's going to be a disaster. I think
they're not going to get to it. I guarantee you, they're not going to get to it. There's not going to be a Gunn Superman or a Gunn Batman. I don't even think they're going to get to a Gunn Wonder Woman at this point. If they do, I just can't fathom. I mean, that just tells me Warner Brothers is diving headfirst into the Disney pool.
Yes. Oh, this is interesting. I just saw this. The film is animated by South Korean studio Mirko, which previously worked on The Legend of Korra. Okay, so they're getting a South Korean studio to animate this. They also helmed X-Men 97, My Adventures as Superman, which I did not care for, but they did some other things too. Yeah, I don't know. I am. Apparently, there's going to be a gruesome scene where Azrael makes quick work of a group of human traffickers. With the help of flaming swords, he melts off the face of one of the gang members before cutting another one's hands in a fiery blaze. Yes, that's the man you want to be, Batman.
I was just going to say, this is, and if that's Azrael, then that makes sense, right? That is who that character is.
He's nuts.
He is not the good guy, right?
No, he's not. That's the thing. Like, you're thinking, oh, maybe this is the Batman we need in Gotham to stop this Bane, but then the cure is worse than the disease, right? Because he's worse, probably, than the villains he's going up against, if that's can be said much. But the scene seal of the movie is Tim Drake, the third Robin, who has not got much love in past DC movies and shows. He's witty and a rather good detective who also understands the pain Bruce has gone through recently with the death of Jason and wants nothing but to help his idol. His witty remarks got big reactions from the festival crowd, while his brutal fight with Bane earned several gasps from the audience. We've done a lot of DC animated films based on published material. Giraldi told a nasty crowd before the start of the film, "This is one of the best. But this is but the first part of a trilogy. But if the crowd reactions or anything that go by, DC may have a winner on its hands." So this might actually be good. You can watch the trailer. We do have a link for it in the description. So this is what it should like. Not the stupid parodies they've been doing. Don't get me started on that thing they made for Amazon. The one where Batman has a beard for some reason. Just no. How many years before Batman hits the public domain? Good question. Do you know the answer to that?
No.
Okay. When it does, we will let you know. Though we always
and
do.
Again, keep in mind, we've talked about this before with public domain. When these characters pass into public domain, it's only their most original iterations, right? So, for example, it's the Batman from the earliest Golden Age, before there was a Robin who carried a gun. Okay, let's just be clear.
Yes.
And none of these characters, Robin, Batgirl, Commissioner Gordon, the Joker, none of these characters come until much later. You don't get to use those at all.
That's okay. They'll do a slasher movie featuring Batman in it when that happens.
There are ways that you could do that it would be interesting, you know.
Jaywalking and he just shoots you in the head. Okay. We talked about this last week, but I thought you wanted to comment on this. The Jimmy Olsen spinoff is described as both Jimmy Olsen and a Gorilla Grodd show.
This is again exactly the problem with James Gunn. If he's not busy showing you, swinging wangs and full on frontal, a druggy drinking peacemaker, right, and a drunken Supergirl who eats worm scat. He's giving you Jimmy Olsen and friggin' Gorilla Grodd. You can't get a Batman movie out. You can't get a Supergirl, or you can't get a Wonder Woman movie out, right? You got to squeeze the rest of the Justice League into a Superman movie because they can't have their own movie, but you're going to do this stupid crap.
We're getting a Green Lantern series where nobody acts like a Green Lantern.
Yeah. With no green, because that's stupid, and Hal Jordan presumably dies. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, Hal Jordan acting like a jerk, dangling the ring in front of Jon Stewart. So, you're not ready yet. And I'm thinking, no, that's not how the ring works.
If I could do a good Scottish accent, I'd be saying, F you, James Gunn.
I'm telling you, I think it's insulting both Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart from what I've seen from that series, because Jon Stewart also deserves respect. And it's just, no, you are disrespecting him as the writers by having them in that situation on the show. You would just get the ring. The ring goes to whoever it deems worthy. There's no testing by the prior owner. I don't understand this.
Right.
Gorilla Grodd. What is this going to be about? Are they going to go on a journey across America? You think?
I don't know. It's
like
going to be
Easy
like
Rider.
Easy Rider. Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be more like that. What's it called? That movie with Johnny Depp. You know the one I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fear and Loathing.
Fear and Loathing. Yeah.
Fear and
I
Loathing.
don't know what this movie's about. With the look on Jimmy's face, it looks like he's in love with that gorilla. I mean, just saying.
It's a James Gunn movie. That's probably exactly right.
I have a question. Can't we get a Flash movie with Gorilla Grodd as the villain? Isn't that how this is supposed to work?
That would make a whole lot more sense, but no, we can't have that. Actually, I would probably respect this more if he was doing a Jimmy Olsen movie where he becomes Gorilla Grodd. Because that really does fall into the whole goofy Silver Age. He turns into a gorilla. He turns into a turtle. He turns into a giant.
No one's minding the store right now.
They left James Gunn in charge, And that's like putting a bad friend of the playground in charge of your children.
What was the last time we had a non-superhero James Gunn movie has ever done such a thing? Yeah, I don't know. He did Super, but that was like a comedy where a guy thinks he's a superhero. It's one of those, but
I would say that's still not getting away from the trope of superheroes.
no, it's not really. No.
Yeah.
He did that. What was it? That one with the evil Superman as a kid. That was one that he, I think, wrote at least. I don't know if he directed it. Brightburn. Remember, he was behind that. They put
Yeah.
the guy behind Brightburn in charge of Superman.
That's just genius. Yeah.
I don't understand this. This was a whole disaster because I'd read a while ago that James Gunn was actually supposed to take over Marvel after Endgame, but that they didn't allow him to do that because of the stuff that came out about his controversial tweets, where he was making some off-color jokes, and then
Yep.
Disney didn't want them, but then Disney brought him back for Guardians, and then DC snatched them up for their stuff. So I think what was going to happen with Marvel was it was going to explore the cosmic universe rather than the multiverse, which might have been better than what we got with the multiverse line that they've been doing since.
Well, see, I've said this over and over and over again. They're using the multiverse as a catch-all to excuse every failure they do. Well, that didn't work, but that's an alternate universe. Then there's this. Oh, but that's an alternate universe too. Let's try this. Instead of making good movies and then using the multiverse the way it's intended. You know, the original multiverse was Earth 1 and Earth 2, where they were working with modern stories, and they said, oh, all those older stories you loved, that was this other universe. They're older in an older time period, but that still exists in the multiverse. Now we're just updating it, you know, and sometimes they even work together and stuff like that. And, you know, I don't know, man.
Oh, get this. The next Superman movie, James Gunn is saying it's as much a Lex Luthor movie as it is a Superman movie.
Of course it is, because they can't do a Superman movie. The last one wasn't a Superman movie.
Okay.
They called it Superman, but Superman was, you know, a co-star in his own movie, and it's going to happen again. This time it's going to be a Lex Luthor movie, because we got to tell the stories of the villains. They're the real heroes to these people.
This makes me upset, as Gorilla Grodd is one of my favorite supervillains, and I think he's just going to be handled poorly in this whole thing. Like, they killed off Rupert Thorne in Creature Commandos, the cartoon, which, if we're following what they're saying, that is canon with the live-action stuff. That means we'll never see Rupert Thorne in a Batman movie, because they just killed him off willy-nilly on the cartoon he did. Okay. Jendi Tartakovsky. I will get his name right.
Tartakovsky.
Never.
Yeah.
Because I've known about him for a while, since the Samurai Jack days, to mount Conan the Barbarian animated series for Cartoon Network Studios and Prime Video exclusive. This is cool. Again, not sure why something from Cartoon Network Studios is going on Amazon and not on HBO Max, but I don't understand how things work.
It has a lot to do with very strange licensing related to Conan.
Okay.
But guys, I always list the citations for every article that we look at in the description below. But along with this one, I also cite a video you should check out from Midnight's Edge. They also have an exclusive that gives a little bit more information that might also fill you with more hope about this. Yes, this is the good news. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
The only thing that we don't know. Well, go ahead. I'll get to it when you're done.
Conan the Barbarian is coming to Prime Video via a new animated series from animation legend Jendi Tartakovsky and Cartoon Network Studios. He first pitched an animated version of the character created by Robert E. Howard in 1932. In 2008, various networks and streamers were interested in the project, but now it has a firm home with Prime Video. It just entered development, so it will be a while before we see anything from this series. In a pre-taped video message that played at the Annecy International Animation Film Festival, Tartakovsky joked that he'd be able to share some animatics next year and some rough animation the year after that. The official logline for the series reads, after finding love in the pirate queen Belit, a battle-hardened Conan defies gods, fate, and even death to save her from a dark sorcery that threatens to destroy everything. Tartakovsky will serve as executive producer and showrunner on Conan the Barbarian, and is joined by executive producers Derek Bachman, Fred Malmberg, and Mark Wheeler. In the video, Tartakovsky said that he always felt a connection to Howard, a pulp novelist who is largely considered the father of the sword and sandal genre, which Conan the Barbarian is very much a part of. You can feel the influence of Howard in Tartakovsky's work, which particularly Primal, his Emmy award-winning Adult Swim animated series set in the brutal fantasy-filled primordial Earth. I need to watch that. Conan the Barbarian will mark the first time Tartakovsky has worked with pre-existing IP since his Clone Wars microseries for Lucasfilm back in 2003. The status of his Game of Thrones animated spin-off, which was revealed earlier this year, is unclear. Okay. So that's interesting. Wasn't aware he was working on anything for Game of Thrones. So that's interesting.
So this Pirate Queen story, from my understanding, from what Andre said, it spans about 2 years, and there's a lot of space in between. That the Marvel Comics run kind of filled in a lot of that. Now, I doubt that they're going to have the rights to adapt any of those comics, but it does give them freedom to tell stories within that span, and I suspect that that's what he's going to be doing. Remember, this is a guy who was offered the keys to Star Wars animation and passed, partly because his first love was Conan the Barbarian, and I suspect partly because he didn't want to sell out to Lucas. And I think he made the right choice. He made the right choice for him. Maybe not for the fans of Star Wars, but there you go.
No, I think it's best he would have left. It would have happened regardless because he's a creative. He's a creative himself. I always assumed that Lucas didn't like the fact that he got showed up by his Clone War shorts, and that look at how General Grievous is in those old Clone Wars shorts versus how he was in Rise of Skywalker. He's a genuine menace in Tartakovsky's original shorts. Like when he shows up and the Jedi are all hiding and he says, the only mercy I'll grant you is like a quick death. And then you see one of the Padwins shaking, and then he runs out and the master says, no, don't run out there. And then boom, he's gone. And then just General Grievous is just taking them all out. And it's a massacre, and it actually shows how terrifying he was. And then he's doing the coffee cough thing in the movie. But I think the main reason why this new Conan series is going to Prime is because Cartoon Network. Is because Cartoon Network's stubbornness on greenlighting new series on after HBO Discovery Part 2. I agree. I think that's why Cape Crusader ended up as Amazon. But I think that Cape Crusader, part of the reason I think it's a disaster is because it was part of Amazon's DEI policies for their shows, and I think I don't even want to get into what they did on that show, but Crom laughs at studio execs. They will be judged by their lack of steel. Yeah, but I think this will be good. I think this is the right man in charge of this project. I'm a big fan of the Conan stories from back in the day too. I have all the reprints of those in trade paperback, and there's even material with the old stuff if they don't get the stuff that was made after. I had heard a while back that they were going to do an animated movie based on Red Nails, which never came to fruition. And I don't know if he was originally going to be involved in that or not, but this was years ago. Like, I'm talking like the aughts. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? Mark Hamill was going to be the voice of one of the villains in it. This was way back in the day, but then it never came to fruition. I think they were going to get Ron Perlman to voice Conan in that too, which they ended up getting him to voice Conan in the games, like video games that came out later. But Troy, Part 2 after HBO Discovery team, they started removing a lot of Cartoon Network stuff from the streaming series. Yes, but they okayed that Adventure Time spin-off show, which I'm not even going to comment on here. Okay, which looks very cringy. Phoenix on the Sword was also rewritten, unpublished. Cold Scar written in this one. It'd be really cool too if when he's done with this, if he works on a Cole series, that would be cool too. But yeah. And of course, my favorite Robert E. Howard character though was always Bran Mac Morn. A big fan of that character.
Yep.
Actually, the interesting thing about Bran Mac Morn was that he was. I know. Just let me spit it out. Bran Mac Morn was interesting because he did not take place. It did not take place in the Hyborian Age. It took place in like the. I want to say early AD, like when the Roman Empire was expanding out into Britain, and Bran Mac Morn was a Pict fighting against the Romans. And it was a fantasy series that took place during an actual historical period that we know of, so it was interesting.
Right.
Last story of the night, we have here the Los Vampiros trailer gives deadly twist on production of 1931 Spanish Dracula. Of course, like most things bloody disgusting, it gave me the wrong article. Basically, this is like a fictionalized retelling of the remember the production of Dracula where they would shoot the English version during the day and they would bring in the Spanish cast at night.
So the original Universal Studios depiction of Dracula with Bela Lugosi was filmed during the daytime, and at night the exact same sets were used by the Spanish crew to make the Spanish version, which is arguably the better version if you set aside the fact that it's done in Spanish.
Yes, I've heard it's good. Yeah.
Which, of course, if you have the DVD, the Universal Monsters DVD, it's on there with you get them both, so you could do your own watch party of it and compare the two. I'm wondering if this is like the what's his name, Willem Dafoe.
Yes, they're comparing it to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Like Shadow the Vampire, because like they say don't talk to the actor during the day, and like I think there's a murder on the set, and I'm starting to wonder, is it like a murder thing, or is like maybe the main actor during the day a vampire, or the actor at night a vampire? You know what I mean? It's
right.
Playing around
The fact
with
that it was filmed at night, maybe he was really a vampire. Yeah.
I think
not a new idea, but it could be an interesting take.
And they don't say in this that it's Dracula, but you can tell that it's supposed to be inspired by what happened with those two. It's like a fictionalized retelling. I'm curious about it. It looks like kind of in the vein of Shadow the Vampire, so I think it might be kind of cool. So,
there you go.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. So that comes out later this year. And that's it for the night. Look, we're finishing on time. Yeah.
Isn't that nice? Because we got to get you over to deleted scenes. So if you are on my channel, and I'm presuming on Netter's channel too, stay right where you are, and you will be auto-dramatically forwarded to deleted scenes channel. We need to get Aged Boomer to 500 subscribers so he can do the same thing. So again, make sure you are subscribed to Aged Boomer, and if you are, well, if you're not, make sure you get subscribed. If you are subscribed, make sure you share him out with all of your friends on all your socials and tell people to come subscribe to him.
That's it. What do you want for 2 hours, Nate?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe some of the article. You can click on the article in the chat. It looks interesting, that movie.
And keep in mind, check out the links below, because I've got a couple of articles that go to that Park Place 2 videos from Midnight's Edge that expand on the things we talked about, and that Snarky J review of Supergirl you should really, really check out.
Yes, exactly. But crush your memories, drive them before you. Yeah, well, on that note...
and hear the lamentations of their women.
And tune in for Doctor Who after reserved seats tonight on Troy's
Yes,
channel.
I did not realize that the next story series is only a two-parter, so you're going to get the entire Doctor Who The Rescue tonight.
Did you say Doctor He?
Well, I started as, I don't know what I was starting to say, but I corrected myself.
Someone should make a Doctor He series now. Okay. All right, y'all. You have a good week. And like I said, tune into our channels during the week. We always have stuff going on, including Troy, who will have a Monday night at the movies tomorrow night.
Yep. We're going to watch the real Supergirl movie.
Helen Slater. She was actually recently on. Who's the guy who played Lex Luthor in Smallville?
On Smallville, Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
was
he
she
has
on
a
his
podcast. Yeah,
Yeah,
she was interviewing him. They were talking about Faye Dunaway on the set and things like that.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah,
I'll
you
have
can
to
find
look
clips
into
on
that.
YouTube. It's interesting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night, and we're going to roll the credits, and be sure to tune into Deleted Scenes coming up next.
There you go. Bye-bye. It's right underneath the presentation.
Outro. It's in black. Okay, there we go.
There you go.